Humans are willing to try almost anything to have sex without making babies before microscopic eggs and sperm were discovered. People had no idea what went on there, and they came up with some rather interesting theories about how new human life was made. It is thought that it took some time for people at that time to make the connection between sex and pregnancy. Hippocrates, known as the father of medicine, argued that both males and females produce seed, which had to be commingled to create new life. But as there was no evidence of female seed, this theory was not widely accepted. The major monotheistic religions of the West, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, went with Aristotle's seed planting theory. The ancient Greeks also believed that the womb, called the Historica, was a separate entity that could move around a woman's body. Sperm was first observed through a microscope in 1677 by Dutch scientist Anthony van Leeuwenhoek. It took another 150 years for the female mammalian egg to be discovered by German scientist Carl Ernst von Bahr. The fusion of the egg and sperm, OF a starfish, was observed by German zoologist Oscar Hartwig in 1876, and the mystery of conception was finally solved, encouraging fertility. In most cultures, pregnancy outside of marriage was considered a great sin and often resulted in the shunning of the woman and the child, while the man got away scot-free. It is no surprise, therefore, that women throughout history have been trying a wide variety of methods to prevent conception. Some worked, but most did not, and many were dangerous and frankly disgusting. With so many off-base theories about how life began, many cultures throughout history saw infertility as a woman's problem, and the role of men in conception was rarely questioned. Women who wanted to conceive tried a lot of interesting techniques to make it happen. Fertility goddesses were prayed to and offered sacrifices in almost every culture throughout the world. However, there is evidence that herbal potions were known to midwives and passed between women by word of mouth. Various recipes were thought to have the power to encourage or prevent pregnancy. Artifacts dating back to ancient times have shown that contraceptives have been used for thousands of years. Unsurprisingly, not every method was all that effective. Many modern forms of contraception have roots in the ancient past. For example, ancient cave drawings found in France appeared to show an early version of a condom. Ancient civilizations, such as the Egyptians, Greeks, Romans, and Chinese, were among the pioneers in exploring methods of birth control. In ancient China, concubines would drink a cocktail of lead and mercury. Unfortunately, the side effects included sterility, brain damage, kidney failure, and death. Both ancient Babylonians and Chinese put a great deal of faith in astrology. Women would consult astrologists to chart the stars and advise them on the best times of the month and year for conception. The placenta, the organ that supports the life of a growing fetus and is delivered shortly after the baby, was prized by many cultures to promote fertility. Women in Eastern Europe would bite a freshly delivered placenta, and Chinese and Japanese women ate dried placenta. One of the most famous contraceptives from ancient Greece was silphium, also known as laserwort or lasert. It was highly valued for its contraceptive properties and was used by women in the form of a herbal potion or as a vaginal suppository. Besides silphium, other herbal concoctions were used as contraceptives. These mixtures often contain ingredients like herbs, oils, and resins believed to have contraceptive effects. Queen Anne's lace, also known as wild carrot, Daucus carota, has been historically associated with contraceptive properties, particularly in traditional herbal medicine. The seeds of Queen Anne's lace were sometimes used as a form of birth control, although their effectiveness and safety are not well established. They contain compounds called falcarinol and falcarindiol, which are believed to have contraceptive effects. However, many of these plants, including Queen Anne's lace, are also highly toxic, and ancient women had to be very careful about the dosage they used to avoid injury and even death. The Kahun Gynecological Papyrus, dating back to around 1850 BC, describes contraceptive pessaries used by Egyptian women. These pessaries were made from materials such as acacia gum. Modern research has confirmed that acacia gum does possess spermicidal qualities, and it is still used in some contraceptive products today. So it seems the ancient Egyptian women were onto something with that one. Less effective are the use of honey, sodium carbonate, and crocodile dung. Lemon juice has been a perennial favorite throughout most of history. The acidity offered some spermicide protection, but again, not very comfortable. Hippocrates, known as the father of medicine, wrote a text called On the Nature of Women, which recommended that women who did not desire to conceive should drink copper salt dissolved in water. He claimed that this would prevent pregnancy for a year. As knowledge of reproductive biology advanced, so did contraceptive methods. The Middle Ages saw the continued use of herbal remedies and the development of rudimentary barrier methods. The Renaissance period brought about increased awareness of contraception, albeit with limited effectiveness and reliability. Overall, the evolution of birth control from ancient times to modern times reflects advancements in medical knowledge, technology, and societal norms, leading to safer, more effective, and accessible options for individuals seeking to prevent pregnancy.